Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
I finally got, I think it did. It kept showing up as active. But then when I went to the sold, it still showed up as sold. But Georgia Law, after I think, they took out.
Got it squared away for you.
I think it's gone.
I just, you know, when you have fire plans, like, look, I'll reach out, I don't show it. That's exactly. They know what we do because it's just an aggregator. It's only as good as and that's what I tried to show for you. I'm like, look, I don't love her. I'm just glad I'm called.
They're ready to say it. Give it long enough.
There you go. Okay, we'll see that. We'll see a little bit of things. Another comment. Our virtual practice retreat.
I thought you were going to do some kind of swap over.
Basically, it's what it is. It's a shot of our second career in my life now. Allison.
Thank you.
It was 59 last Monday.
Oh, yeah. Whenever you
oh, yeah.
I was
and I was also a poll watcher. I think I was one of the polls that she was at with him. When you spend all day looking at somebody, I start seeing your name pop up. Anyway.
It's been
It's so easy to take place for things.
Yes.
The amount of money that they made for the month, they put into it, they started employees, that works well.
We're able to complete it.
Let's see you standing up.
Yes, sir.
How are you doing?
No, you're fine.
Yeah. Go ahead and give it a look, and then, I'm fixing to start a meeting here in about 4 minutes. And then I'll call you when I get out of here. All right, sounds
There
good.
you go.
Start the meeting.
Yep, this is here.
I'm gonna have some air there.
I'm worried about this.
Bring me the paperwork.
Hey, Paul.
You good,
They come in here. Sure, that describes most everybody. Serving versus check that out.
She's the one that's conformed to the, it's not to life.
The points that I've been controlling.
You get out there and help her on the red bed and all that. Or you just buy it. Oh, that's it.
Oh, okay. What's she doing down there?
If they own a house,
He said, I'm staying here. I thought it was a joke.
So you called me this morning, he was like, I'm calling you.
Yeah.
It's kind of like, you don't call me this.
I sure said, but you let your friends have the front door.
Fine.
Devil that I know is those kind of devils.
Yeah, but anyway, don't go there.
For a world machine living. Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
next to a park.
Arkansas Mountain, the battlefield.
That's just gonna be, it's complicated. Yeah, we gotta talk about it because, you know, they had to go, they had to go to the state, but get the charge. So now you gotta figure out who's qualifying that. Right now, that's sort of lawful. Yeah, for me,
North of Jackson. We got it more, but that's the thing, other things from everyone. We just got so, there's a following, what somebody gets used to, and they like.
It was nice, but we're waiting for but given that I live in, there's kind of, like, y'all. And the same like you
Well, then we work together.
and we can go back. You can always try it.
But you should have dedicated those roads. You have the label.
that's the only way.
Don't you look into where?
I just came from a little Halloween, holiday party. Up there right in Seattle.
I have a holiday song.
We don't do it. We don't get our.
I have a different, my Christmas day. I have a different hair for every day.
That's why I love it when I get home.
Yeah.
I love doing that.
For 2 days. 22nd, 23rd.
All right.
And October, you have my.
My brother.
Okay.
He would have had one of them Nokias that you would charge up and 3 months later you got. I've been impressed.
Or you might go back to real life.
I had one. In a bag.
I did that at.
Uh-huh. Yeah. You're gonna be perfect. Yeah. Music, I did kind of, that's the, And I can't remember what song I heard that song that I made.
We can't find it.
Everyone I've been with 30 years ago.
I will get you one next week. Now that you've mentioned it, you're right.
They appreciated that.
I'd like to welcome everybody to the Madison County Board of Commissioners regular business meeting for November 28, 2022, 6 p.m. Please stand for the pledge.
To the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Before you gentlemen is a copy of the minutes from October 21st, special call meeting, minutes from October 24th, regular business meeting, minutes from the November 7th agenda setting work session, and the minutes from the November 14th special call meeting minutes. If you see no discrepancies, I'll ask for a motion to approve those minutes to tonight's agenda, gentlemen. Okay. Motion by Commissioner Chandler, second by Commissioner Adams. Any discussion, gentlemen? It's on you, brother.
Yes.
All right. Coach, you done a good job this time. Business involving gas groups and multiple visitors. Lady Turner. Library quarterly report. I can't believe it's already been a quarter.
Good evening. Yes, a quarter plus a little bit. I actually meant to come see y'all last month and that didn't quite work out. So you've got my quarterly report and then you've got an additional updated page, bringing it a little more current. I will say that last month, our visits, checkout, circulations, and questions all were up. So we're doing well, getting lots of people. We have a STEM to Noon program happening with our youth. Our children's person is doing that and having a great time. The kids are learning a lot and really enjoying that program. Recently, the board elected Amelia Ross to be the chairperson and Katie Morris to be the treasurer. Our inclusive book club recently had a therapy dog come visit. They all got to visit with the dog, and everybody but one person wanted to pet the dog and had a great time. And he was a person who didn't want to touch, like to see the dog, and just stood back. We've got a new Lego club for kids, and that's being very popular. The October Family Book Club has been more popular than ever. People are really enjoying that and giving us good feedback about what the books are being chosen and the additional resources that come with them. We participated in the Madison County Fair with a booth, and we got an honorable mention for that. Athens Christian School had a community helpers program, and we participated in that, speaking to kids about what is done in the library and what else somebody working at the library does. And they have a good time and ask lots of questions. We had a couple author visits last month. Tracy Adkins came for the Friends of the Library meeting, and she spoke and read from her new book, Ghost of Athens and Beyond. And then our writers group had their monthly meeting and had Hattie Thomas Whitehead come and tell the story of her book, Giving Voice to Linentown. And then because it was the writers meeting, she also talked about the process of creating that book and getting it published. And the writers group really gained a lot from that and had a big meeting. Finally, I will invite y'all to some events that are happening in December. You got our calendar and newsletter. The Dulcimer group is back in session, so if anybody plays Dulcimer or is interested in learning, that group meets first and third Wednesdays at 1 o'clock. if you're wanting to set some goals for yourself in the new year, but you're not sure how or how to keep them, come on the 17th of December to a session all about doing that, how you can create them and work towards keeping those goals going. And then finally, we're very excited on the 22nd and 23rd, we're going to have a 2-day event we're calling the Holiday Hoopla. We're going to have crafts and hot beverages and stories, including a visit from Mrs. Santa Claus, and she's going to come read stories, and music and movies, just all kinds of holiday fun. And I hope you will come somewhere during the day, one of those 2 days, and just have a good time with us.
That's awesome. Well, thank you. We'll put this up on our calendar too. Get Zach a copy if you don't mind leaving him a pink copy.
Absolutely.
He may help you out with that whole thing and even the fall update. I'm sure he'll be interested in some of that. But thank you, young lady.
Thank you.
So, before I get into the next item, I want to give a little bit of backstory, because it's not in the proclamation. But we have a young man with us tonight that's family, and it's so good to see families be this united and tight. And I know there's several of you in your room that's done this same thing. But this family traveled 10,612 miles this past year. Texas, Pennsylvania, Indiana, Illinois, Ohio, Michigan, Tennessee. I think some of these were multiple trips to the same places. But just to show their love and support of not only their child, but what their child truly enjoys and loves. It's pretty awesome. And I want to, after I give this proclamation, I'd like a round of applause just for the parents to be able to do something like that for their child. I know, Stephanie, y'all done it with your son, traveled all over the United States. It's good to still see that we have that, people that does something besides the local sporting events. This proclamation, ATV Motocross National Champion, Sammy Joe Baxter. Whereas the AMA ATV Motocross Championship is the premier professional and amateur ATV motocross series in the world, offering class riders as young as 4 years old as they want to be, and for machines from 50cc to 450cc. And whereas national events are hosted, a premier motocross racetrack across the country, and whereas 7-year-old Sammy Joe Baxter, the son of Callaway and Christina Baxter, is a Madison County citizen in the 2nd grade at Isla Elementary School, where Sammy Joe is committed in 2022 to compete in the ATV MX National Championship Series in the 50cc automatic, 50cc CVT, and the 50cc open class for the 2022 season. And whereas Sammy Joe completed in all 9 rounds of the series, which were held at venues across the United States. Whereas Sammy Joe won a total of 5 first-place finishes, 8 top 5 finishes, and 8 top 10 finishes, including a win in the 50cc automatic Illinois State Champion. And whereas Sammy Joe was named the 50cc automatic ATV MX National Champion at the National Awards Banquet held in Ohio during October of 2022. And whereas Sammy Joe excelled competitively all season while also being a great role model to other racers in the motocross community. Now, therefore it be resolved, the Board of Commissioners of Madison County hereby congratulates Sammy Joe Baxter for his dedication and focus and hard work in continuing the county's tradition of youth achievements on a national scale. So resolved by the Madison County Board of Commissioners on this day, the 28th day of November. Board of Commissioners, I'll ask for a motion.
We adopt this proclamation.
I have a motion by Commissioner Chandler, motion second by Commissioner May. Gentlemen, is there any discussion? Hearing none. Dennis Adams?
Yes. Yes.
Yeah. Young man, look at that. That is awesome. Come on up here, buddy. And this has got to be the littlest 7-year-old I've ever seen. But if you could see the videos this kid leaping. What's your biggest jump? How are you getting off the ground? Probably taller than you can reach, huh? Come on up here. What do you think the highest you've come off the ground? I mean, I've seen you soaring, right? A little bashful. Turn around, let's get a picture. Me and you, and then we'll get one with Mom and him. How about that? All right. Here, you hold that side up. You ready? 1, 2, 3. Proud of you, boy. Mom and Dad. I was hoping Christina had a video up, because this, I don't know, that's a pretty determined young man on that racetrack. It's something special to see our kids competing on a national level and winning. I know the Alligators is real proud of you too, young man. Before I get into the chairman's report, just a couple of comments, especially like the fact the city of Isla were last night putting on a phenomenal Christmas tree lighting. I don't know if any of y'all were attended. Several thousand people there. I didn't even think Isla could hold that many people. But the Madison County Sheriff's Office has done a great job of working with the traffic flow, stopping for pedestrians on all 4 sides. I know it was a job for them, but every one of them was smiling and happy. Hats off to the Sheriff's Department, hats off to the city of Isla, and a special thanks to Bobby McCann from the Collision Clinic. They put in a lot of hard work to make that process happen, and they partnered so well. And with that, I will be telling you the same story about Comer and Danielsville. You know, there's a Colbert that's got a lot of things coming up. I'm telling you, if you don't believe that there's community buy-in, go to some of these events. It's huge. It's great to see people out. Everybody loved it. The weather was good. All the food vendors said they sold out. So it took me a minute to find food. So with that being said, please visit the Madison County Chamber of Commerce website for a list of all the hometown holiday celebrations going on. The dates and times are posted there. There are many festivities coming up in the area. Children are welcome to mail letters to Santa at P.O. Box 248, Danielsville, Georgia, 30633. Drop them off at the Madison County Rec Department now until December 10th. The Recreation Department will deliver Santa letters at the North Pole, and each child will receive a return letter from Santa. The Madison County First program is hosting a free picture with Santa December 16th at 1 p.m. until 4 p.m. at the old Danielsville Gym right behind us. Children of all ages are welcome to have the picture taken with Santa Claus and an ornament to take home. You can make donations to the Madison County First program. John H. Jones Lodge is accepting new and or gently used coats this winter. Coats or donations can be dropped off at the lodge, or please see Lamar Dalton here in the tag office. The BOC is hiring a finance director, so I'm sure everyone's seen this. Share that post on Facebook. We're still looking for the right applicant. You can submit applications to the Human Resources Office at the Government Complex. Yes, sir. For the first time in Madison County history, our Madison County 12U All-Star Volleyball team has won the state championship. We'll need to be looking about doing something for that. Congratulations to the young lady and their accomplishments this season. We're very proud of our youth representation in Madison County. Early voting has started. I will tell you today, I appreciate the patience of the community that they voted over 1,000 people today. It was packed. I mean, it was packed.
Early voting is this week only.
It is this week only. To my knowledge, it's 8 to 5. I don't think there's any late dates. Zach, you might know of one. All right.
No Saturday either.
No, sir. You did see other counties in Georgia that did vote this past Saturday, but the way the judge's order said, it says you may, not you shall. We didn't have enough time with the judge's order to even be prepared. I think it didn't come down to Friday, and I think those are for the larger counties to begin with. But it was an opt-in process. Hall Consulting is having the final public workshop for Madison County Comprehensive Plan. Open house to review the draft plan Thursday, December 8th. Drop in anytime between 4 p.m. and 7 p.m. at the old gymnasium out back behind the county government building. Huh. There's your times and dates, Zach. Sorry. So the next one coming up is December 2nd, and that is going to be at Culver's Christmas tree lighting. Yes. Anybody looking for these flyers, please go to the Chamber's website. There's a list of them there of all the flyers we have, including Hall Consultants. The picture with Santa, it is all on Chamber of Commerce's website. This is just a note. Obviously, I'm set on the Department of Health also board, chair that board, but there's some notes from that meeting that we need to make the public aware of. Madison County's Health Department is now offering Nexplanon. How you say it?
Nexplanon.
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 Nexplanon, that's it. Nexplanon. Don't, y'all laughing at me, I know. Insertions by appointment, Monday through Friday. This is the most effective birth control available. It's huge for our county to be able to offer that right here. Appointments for this service is required. The health department has administered over 550 vaccines with local community, and this is as of November 22nd. So the number is probably doubled by now because they only had a short window, but there's a lot of people getting vaccinated for the flu. Health department offers flu vaccines for all ages over 6 months, including the high-dose flu vaccine recommended for ages 65 and up. The health department is still offering updated bivalent COVID boosters. Appointments for flu shots and COVID boosters are recommended but not required. The new electronic system for WIC's benefit called EWIC is now available through our health department. Miss Elizabeth Allen is the RN over there, and I tell you, our county is in much better shape to have her because she is a worker. She's taken our health department to a whole new level. One thing notable for the newspaper is, for some reason, Madison County DFAC's website, if you Google it, it has the courthouse's phone number on it. We get multiple calls about Madison County DFACs. Their phone number is 706-795-2128, not 6300. I cannot explain why they don't answer the phone, but we are the backup plan. They call the first number, nobody answers, and then they call the courthouse, won't be back. So we can't get them either. So just for the record, the number online is incorrect. We have available, which will be online, the 2023 meeting schedule.
We've got statements from March.
Yeah, but I didn't.
That's coming up, that's number 8.
Okay. So, I got all my stacks out of order. Statements and remarks from citizens on tonight's agenda. Anybody have anything they'd like to speak on before we roll into the whole business? All right. Consider rescinding the vote to approve $436,402 allocation from the American Rescue Plan Act funds for the Community Development Block Grant of Mize Road Water Project. Briefly, well, Rodney's here. I don't think you want to speak on this. Yeah. But basically what's happened is we found out that the American Rescue Plan money, which we allocated in the last vote, could not be used for this funding purpose. It's laid out in the bylaws of expenditures that we had to find a different source of money. With that being said, I'll need a motion. Are we going to try to
We have to, the board has to make a motion to rescind that vote.
Yes.
And then make a motion for the same amount of money for a new pot. That's fine.
Okay, right. Okay. I didn't know if that was under, we'll do it all in the same one.
Yeah.
That'd be fine. All right. But is everybody clear?
Yeah, it needs to be two different motions.
I think it'd be cleaner, because, I mean, the rescission part is a given, there's no choice.
That's right. So we'll go ahead and ask for a motion to, rescind the vote from November, well,
I'm going to rescind that motion and vote.
all right. I have a motion to rescind from Commissioner Shannon.
Second motion.
I have a second by Commissioner Adams. Gentlemen, is there any discussion? Hearing none, Terry?
Yes.
Yes.
All right. Now, with that being said, we can still do it under old business. We'll need to reallocate those funds, and I guess it'll be up to us to decide where we want to reallocate them from. Right now, you only have two legal choices to choose from. It is the 2020 splosh from the IDBA and or the general fund. That's the only two that I'm aware of.
If you do general fund, you would have to, at some point, do a budget amendment, because I don't think you have that much in contingency, right?
Yeah. Yes. That would be, by going that route, would be part of an audit process versus the T-Splosh, or, I'm not the T-Splosh, the Splosh, I won't say that.
Squash has the funding available.
Yes. The IDA portion, they're to receive, $1,554,354.
Through
For their-
2026.
Yeah, that's their total estimated SPOS collection. So if we collect the full amount, that's what they will proportion to. And the only thing we spent out of that is the $180,000 for the Madison Park water expansion.
Correct.
There's, when we talk about general fund, and I know what we got going on with the finance departments may not be, we might have the answer here, but carryover funds or leftover funds and the reserves in 2021. We have a figure for that.
I
don't have an exact figure, no. I know it's, it'll cover this amount, but I haven't heard from anybody at the IDA that they would request it doing that. I know we heard at the last meeting, they did not want to use Splash, but they never really gave us a reason why. So I don't know what the purpose was, and there's nobody here tonight to answer. I think Ben may still be out of town, I'm not sure.
Is there a time sensitive
Yes,
issue?
yes, because,
According to the Zoom meeting we had with Northeast Georgia Regional Commission, and the way that they've heard back from DCA today, so from my understanding that they need to know where we're pulling this funding from, the project overcost, because the way the CDBG grant works, she explained it's an umbrella, so that's the reason why, even though that $400,000 is outside of that CDBG grant fund, that's why we can't use ARPA, because it still falls under that umbrella. So she needs an answer tomorrow. That's when I told her I was going to give it to her. She wanted one today during our Zoom meeting, but we weren't able to provide that.
Were the other issues surrounding that grant, were those resolved?
yes,
Yes, for that too, yes.
yes.
I saw the email.
Okay, you saw the email, and it, basically, when we were on the Zoom call, we did not have the final answer.
Right.
We was assuming, but it looks like Kim Carter from DCA has given the nod to move forward with the full amount without having to do a complete, what would you call, return and repurchase. So we're able to move forward, and I did get the confirmation on the email from both Mark Beatty from Regional Commission and Lydia Jeffries that this will not be held over our head, that we will not be dinged on. They may be a flag.
Yes, she said we'll get a flag, which would be letting us know they're going to audit this project.
Yes, there will be an audit on this project because of this. And that's why I was trying to keep it cleaner and not going into our books, because then there's going to be an audit there also. Just a thought.
So do they have to know specifically where the funds are gonna come from? Or
Yes.
We just have to,
They'll just mean that if we're gonna use SPOS funding, because she had mentioned something about us using T-SPOS, so I had to clarify that we were not using, that was not coming out of that fund. So she did want to know where the funding was coming from, and that is all coming from Kimberly Carter at DCA. She's the director of all CPG grants, and with the confusion and complication of where we're at in the process, she wants to be very specific on how we move forward and how those funds are being allocated. So she does want an answer.
They made it very clear to us today that we will have to toe the line this whole project until it's closed out. We also have to expend the money. We have to spend 75% of the money has to be expended before we can go for a new grant application. We're already late in that process because of this process. We were technically supposed to turn in one in October, but they're going to work with us. We have, I can truly say Christina has done it. Again, hats off to Christina. She has mended the friendships. We are going to be fine in the future.
That's SPOS fund, that's the idea, budget, I mean, that's there. Where's that money come from?
It was local option sales tax, special local option sales tax. The taxpayers voted to use that money for a specific purpose, and it was to expand our water system. Now, it did not have to be, unlike cities, you don't have to lay it out project by project. You just give them a lump sum that's definitely allocated for that. Like you can't build a street when it's allocated for water. You have to use it for water or sewer or something like that.
But that amount is allocated for water and sewer.
That's correct. That's your fair answer. And Mike, you can interject at any point in time.
No, I'm
Seriously.
we're good.
No, I mean, I don't want to misspeak.
Well, normally too, like EMS, they'll allocate for a certain number of ambulances, the coroner will allocate for certain equipment, the road department will allocate for certain projects. So the IDA, when they did their portion, they didn't turn in an actual list of projects. So when you get certain departments that don't turn in a list, like the road department outfit, they actually turned in a list of, they're gonna pave certain roads, so then it just broadens their restrictions on what they can spend that SPOS funding on as far as projects.
And I will jump in there just because it's important for the SPOS vote. So, and we don't put those specifics on the referendum, because when we discuss those lists, we're always open to the public. This is subject to change. We do need that flexibility. But the difference being, as you say, for water and sewer, there was not even a tentative list.
Okay. Yeah. Now, that's not operating capital.
Or am I mistaken?
no, well, that was the first thing I was gonna say. This is not gonna impact their operating budget at all of that, because my understanding, you can't use splash funds
For operating. That's correct. It has to be for capital.
It has to be for capital projects. So recognizing that we're gonna have to potentially assist the IDA in future projects, I mean, it's a given. So, do we need a motion on this thing? The only other question I have is, does this board have the authority to allocate IDBA SPOS dollars?
Yes, because the only actual authorized participants in SPOS are the county and the cities. Under its umbrella of its portion, the county sub-allocates for water and sewer through IDA and also through fire protection. But again, those are not where you just write the check to the cities. We're not allowed to do that. We have to actually allocate these specific expenditures for those.
Correct.
And this one, the 2020 is a bond, which is different than 2014. So when we do 2020, even when we spend it in that SPOS, it's a whole different set of requirements. And like through finance, there's a whole different form, a requisition form that even when the fire department spends money from 2020 SPOS versus 2014, it's more stringent than we went through a bond.
It's actually a little bit better way to do it, whether you like bonds or not, but it's definitely from accountability standpoint and finance standpoint. The bonds does require receipt to match it all.
I would say
if not legally, and I want to address that question, at least practically speaking, it should have been done that way in 2014, years past as well.
But to answer your question, for operating capital, the operating capital comes because they receive a meal. 1 meal of the meal rate goes directly to them for payroll and services. On top of, hopefully they generate enough money for services to also maintain, but the meal is to offset any shortfalls in that. If there's no more discussion, I'll entertain a motion by somebody for whichever department or whichever fund balance you feel like.
I would make a motion to use the IDA SPOS funds to pay for the Madison project. Around $436,000.
All right, $436,402.99. So I have a motion by Commissioner May. Do we have a second by Commissioner Adams? Any discussion, gentlemen?
Just to clarify, that sum, that $432,000, that was based on the expected actual amount we have seen, which is 300 and something plus 10% contingency, so it stayed the same way it does.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
100% correct. No other discussion? Frank, it's on you. Yes.
Yes.
All right. New business. Consider BOC meeting schedule. I was wanting to do that a minute ago, Christina. Anyways, I'm not gonna call out all these dates, but they'll be posted on our website. They are standard, just like we do now, twice a month, starting January 9th. It'll be the first Monday. Yeah, it'll be the first Monday of the month and the last Monday of the month. They will be online, so you can see them. You will also be able to see the BOC's holiday schedule. I tried to cut them all out, but these people wasn't here. Just saying.
There's 3 exceptions to the first Monday, that's January, and July, and September.
Yeah.
That's right, I'm sorry, because of New Year's Day, yeah. So we'll need a motion to consider, to approve this up and coming schedule, and I'll do them both in one, the meeting schedule and the holiday schedule, gentlemen.
Will both of them be approved as presented?
Motion by Commissioner Chandler to approve. That's second. Second by Commissioner Adams. Any other discussion, gentlemen? Hearing none. Dennis, it's on you.
Yes. Yes. Yeah.
Y'all just made some people happy. They're gonna be off on Christmas. I was trying to get out of it.
Yeah, I really think it's all be open on Christmas. Christina can be in Christmas clothes.
She get a whole lot of gold.
That's it.
We'll let her husband provide. Discuss appointing a vice chair for the BOC. This will be for 2023. Currently, Commissioner Doster is the vice chair if I'm out. He also serves as an auxiliary signature for checks. We don't need to vote on this tonight.
No,
in
it's just
here.
for discussion.
It's just for discussion.
We'll vote it up when Derek's here, but I did talk to Derek and he's fine with, if none of the other board members want to be vice chair, he's fine with taking it again for another year. Unless somebody wants.
I'm going to vote for Derek.
While he's not here, hey, it takes 3 unanimous votes. I don't mind.
We reappoint Derek as vice chair.
I have a motion by Commissioner Chandler. Do I have a second?
Second.
Shut it in there.
We can always give him Christmas good news. Second by Commissioner Adams. Gentlemen, any discussion? None? All right, Terry.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Motion carried. And gentlemen, by the way, I should have started this meeting off like this. We did hear from Brian Kirk today. Brian's doing well. I had a long conversation with Brian. He is following the meetings, and we wish him well. The gentleman's been put through the ringer in 3 years, probably tougher than the rest of us put together, but thoughts and prayers still out to him. He is hoping to return by the next meeting. I have specifically told him to focus on himself and not this county at this point. But anyway, thoughts and prayers to him and his family.
And just remember, he is allowed to participate by video, with an unlimited number of times because he's
Yes.
got medical reasons.
That's correct. Road updates. Sidearm mowing crew is near the completion of the right-of-ways right now. 2 sidearms are throughout the county clearing and hanging limbs in the right-of-way. I've seen a lot of discussion about this on Facebook. And before you go to Facebook saying they butchered your tree, you have an option. You can cut it yourself. Just say it. Our sidearm reaches X amount of feet. We are within the property boundaries. We do not intend on butchering your tree, but we can only do so much with a sidearm and with a skeleton crew. I can promise you, we're not doing it to tear up your yard. We're not doing it to prevent, what the tree looks like when it's over with. We're doing it for the safety of people driving down the road. The limbs that's hitting the top of the school buses, the limbs may hit your car, and they also got to keep in mind we're going into the point of the season to where there's going to be ice, and maybe some of the older trees, if we don't get them down as we go through, they may fall and hurt your family. Therefore, we're doing the best we can. I apologize on the ones that got their feelings hurt last week. Not my intent. The road department will be applying gravel throughout the county coming in the winter months. Actually, we have never stopped graveling. If you say my gravel bill this year, you panic. LMAG projects patching has begun on Drake Woods Road, Hudson River Church Road. County crews will begin crack sealing. Please watch out. We're going to have a bunch of people working on roads all the way through the winter. Garrett Paving won the contract. They're going to be patching. I think there's about 30 different locations that they're patching. And I don't mean like little pothole patches. I mean grind out. There's going to be a lot of people on the sides of the roads. Our guys inside the county, we're going to be rebuilding dirt roads this winter. So ain't nothing worse, more dangerous than a dirt road, because people obviously run about 40 and they go around the curve and all of a sudden there sits a motor grader. And or you hit somebody or it. We don't want anybody hurt. So please, please be careful. I want to send everybody home for a good Christmas. Urgent matters, gentlemen. Hearing none. Statements and remarks from citizens. Hearing none. Statements and remarks from commissioners. Hearing none. Executive session to discuss real estate acquisition and personal matters of potential litigation. Yes, sir. Eric's not here for adjournment, so I'll go with Frank. You got it. Thank you so much. Right? Christina
You and I are just going to train off on
Hey man, how you doing? Oh, that's right. How you doing? Okay?